You making eggs?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have. Actually, I'm probably gonna have cereal. I went without eating cereal for a while, and then we were at Costco the other day, and they have cereal there super cheap. Like, it's the giant boxes of Honey Nut Cheerios, and there's 2 of them together, and it's like $4 or $5. So I got one, and I ate one of the boxes, and I liked it so much that I picked up another pack when we were there the other day.
It's probably good for your cholesterol.
Well, it is. It is, actually, and it's nice because I haven't had cereal in a long time, and eating Honey Nut Cheerios is, I think, objectively better than eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Just saying. Health-wise, yeah. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love myself some Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and they had that there too, but I decided to get Honey Nut Cheerios, which it's like a childhood cereal of mine. We had that in the house a lot growing up, so I like to eat it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday. I wanted to point out something that I don't know if I've pointed out before, because I can't always remember what I've talked about on the vlog versus breakfast stream. This is our guest room. This is where Carly stayed, and then before that, Paul. And when you go in, assuming the door has been shut, you are hit with a smell. There has been a smell since we moved in here, and we've second-guessed whether the smell was happening or what exactly the smell was. But when the door is shut, so the smell kind of like builds, you can smell it when you walk in. If the door is open, then the room air is out and you don't smell it. And whenever we first moved in, we were like, man, it feels like there's some sort of smell in here, but maybe not. You know, because occasionally we'd have the door open and then we wouldn't smell it. But lately the smell's been getting worse, and we also keep the door closed now because we'd like to keep this this entire room cat hair free, just in case we have a guest who is allergic to cats, which does happen. Then whenever they're here, they won't get, you know, they have like a safe space where they don't have to worry about allergies. But when we came in here the other day, I was like, man, this smell is getting worse. And what it smells like is an electrical burn. It smells like when you turn your furnace on for the first time after a few months of not using it. That like really hot electric smell, that's what it smells like. And that's a little worrisome because that seems kind of like a fire hazard. So this morning I sent a message to our landlord, and I was like, hey, this seems bad. And it was something that I wasn't really sure what it was until just yesterday, really. And I had my mother corroborate this story because she actually stopped over yesterday, and we were like, hey, would you smell our back room, because it smells funny and I want to see what you think. And she came in here and she said, that is burning electric. I was like, cool. Because I thought that, but I wasn't sure. And she's like, yeah, that's what it is. And she actually, my parents' AC unit just went out like a week ago. And I had never talked about this on the vlog because vlog's about my life, not their life. But yeah, their AC unit went out that they've had in their house for like a decade. And whenever the people came to look at it, they said that it was burnt black. Because the unit outside and the unit inside didn't even match, and it was just done incorrectly when it was installed. And they said, yeah, it completely burned up the board. And I was like, oh, that's cool. They said it was a huge fire hazard, and it's a wonder that the thing hadn't caught on fire. Are you gonna... You shouldn't be in here. I didn't know I left the door open. Come here. Come here. Come on. He's like, no, I'm more excited to be in this room. On that note, I can't remember if I ever talked about on the vlog, Mal, that we got the leak fixed.
Oh, I don't know.
But the leak is fixed. The one that we had in our bedroom up on the wall.
Yeah, that one.
They came when we weren't here and they fixed it. So that's no longer a concern. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in the house that is a concern, but I don't remember. I
don't think so.
I think we're good right now. There's some foundational stuff that's a little concerning, like some pretty large cracks for the house having only been built in 2017. But otherwise, everything seems fine. So, yeah, I don't know when they're going to come look at that. I hope that they look at the electrical stuff today.
Our car's also ready.
That's the other cool thing is that we get a message or call about our car being done. So we can pick up our car today, too. So, yeah, it's... That's good. That's good. We'll get the car. Hopefully the car is fine this time. They also said on the phone that the weird smell that we had smelled was the alternator, because something about the brushes on it when it's burning up, it makes a smell.
Well, they're burning, so.
Because they're burning, something like that. So that made sense. So it sounds like the only thing wrong right now, knock on wood, was the alternator, and they replaced it. And they had to replace the battery. So between that, the alternator, the battery, and labor, we're looking at like $600. Fun. Very fun. For now, I'm going to have some breakfast, and we'll get started on our day and pick up the car in just a bit.
It's working.
It's working. It started better than it has, I think, in a while. The other thing Mel and I thought about today is that our dash cam, which we don't have at the moment because it's at home, the dash cam lately has had a lot of problems. And we realize now that it was probably a sign of the battery/alternator going, because it just wouldn't stay alive. It kept dying. And we're like, man, that's really weird. And we would unplug it and plug it back in, and that would like make it work for a while, and then it would die again. And we're like, what the heck is going on? And that was like a month ago, maybe, Mel?
Yeah.
I bet it was an entire month ago. So now to have a new battery, a new alternator in, it's like, man, the car is running really well. Like, you get used to how the car sounds and how it runs and how it feels, and you're like, yeah, this is normal. And then it's only when you get everything fixed that you're like, oh, wait, this is probably how it should be all the time. Makes me feel good. It gives me confidence about driving, because we have to make it to Chicago.
Well, Milwaukee.
Sure, I've been using Chicago as a general point, but yeah, Milwaukee actually makes more sense. We got to make it to Milwaukee, and I now have the confidence to do that, which is nice. So good. I don't have like sentimental value in the car or anything. It's not like, oh, we got to keep this car because this car means something. And no, that's not it. It's just one of those things like, you know, I don't want to get a new car because that costs a lot of money. It's a lot cheaper to maintain this one. I understand that at some point this thing's just going to fall apart. And I'm really holding out that it's not, you know, soon. And now that we've replaced some of these key things, I'm hoping that at the very least we get to Milwaukee and back. That's the hope. And then we'll see from there. I know I posted about this on Twitter the other day, and I had so many people like, get a new car! And I'm like, that costs a lot of money. I understand that the repairs and stuff I do to this car could have been put towards a new car, but it's still way cheaper. That being said, I think what we're going to do is when we get back from our trip, I am going to maybe start looking into new cars. We can have two cars at the same time. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think maybe since we have this one running and everything is good, so we have a car, we should use this opportunity while it's good again to start looking at a new car.
Don't look at me, Dad. I'm trying to go potty. I hooked up the, well, I didn't hook up the PS4, but I hooked up the PS4 controllers.
Good.
It's because we're recording Resident Evil 6 again tomorrow.
I know.
I didn't hook up the console because that was a lot of work, and I'll do that tomorrow. But we have the little charger thing that charges the controllers.
So that can charge them.
Yeah, because like if the controllers aren't charged, you can't play the game. That's a new problem. That's
Mel, did you know if there's not a power cable, the system
won't
turn on?
I'm just saying, in all of our technological advancements, we're suffering problems we didn't have in 1993. You know, in Super Nintendo era, you just hooked up the controller and you could play. And now it's like, oh, you didn't charge the controller? Well, you don't get to play the game. Earlier today, we were talking about the smell in the room. Speaking of smells, you know what smells again? Our water. And that's great. I've always been fine with drinking it, even when it smelled funny. So I guess I'll just keep drinking it. But I think we might actually try and be a little proactive about this and maybe call the water company or something, because it lasted a long time the first time and then it finally kind of went away and now it's kind of back. And the way to really be sure of it is Mal put a bunch of water in a bucket and then we stuck our head in the bucket and smelled it. And it's like you're over a pool, man. That's how much chlorine it smells like is in the water. And, you know, I just don't think that it's supposed to smell like that. I'm sure it's a healthy amount because, you know, there's regulations and stuff, but there also could be something wrong. It just seems a little unusual. So yeah, maybe we'll call about that because that seems strange. Anyway, otherwise, trip preparation has continued to go well. Dan actually has all of the Morning Mario done. He sent it to me earlier today, which is exciting. So we're getting there, although we also only have like 10 days left, so I'm trying not to think about that too much. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?